Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Exploited, and this is a new thriller centering on a college student who's new. This new freshman comes in, gets a laptop previously owned, and he finds a lot of very kinky, very in-your-face kind of webcam pornography on this laptop, and he becomes obsessed with this person who used to own this content and all of the baggage that goes into that. And this is from director Jon Abrahams, who previously has starred in films like Scary Movie, and he comes in and creates quite the movie. And you know, this is an hour and 20 minutes or so, and one of the biggest things I noticed about the film, it kind of lacked tension. It lacked the suspense and tension that you really need to make a good thriller. Something about it just didn't click all the time. And I feel like this film is kinky and shocking and sexualized just for the sake of it. It feels like it's trying to beat you down with it. At every turn, it tries to make something more sexualized and trying to make everything about sex. And it winds up taking a lot of the depth away from it because it becomes so one note after a while. And so in your face and beating you over the head with it. The cast, I don't recall like anybody that really stood out to me in terms of giving like a really strong, anchored, emotional performance. But you know, a lot of them get hot and heavy with each other. And that's where they spend a lot of the time, especially like what winds up happening between Brian and his new roommate, Jeremy, and where things are going with that. And, you know, there's a decent amount of like representation in this, and it is kind of sex positive, but also it does kink shame certain kinks on some level. And, you know, what's most enjoyable about this is just how absurd it is. And I feel like that's the thing that gives it at least something to watch and might make this a little bit watchable, is how absurd and crazy it is. But to be fair, it's just a bunch of college stereotypes all thrown around with each other. It's uneven, and there's times where it just really isn't that interesting or engaging. And my God, all the way up to the very end of this film, you feel like you're getting a pretty decent happy ending, and then it pulls the rug out from under you and gives you such a horrible, unsatisfying, just pull that rug out, push you off the cliff kind of cliffhanging ending that's just like, what was the point? And now I have to like commit to seeing a sequel to actually see this story end. And that was very frustrating. But in the end, this wasn't the most compelling or interesting of thrillers. It definitely was bold and went there, and I'll give it some points for that. But in general, not really something that really spoke to me. But those are my thoughts on Exploited. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.